Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. It's April 2021. We now have the T-45C Goshawk free mod available. We're going to look at the weapons. We have a gun simulator, we have two types of rockets and training bombs. So to our armament menu, pylons. One, we can have bombs. They are the 6x BDU-33, the small non-explosive blue training bombs that we know about on a rack. And we also have rockets available. We can have a LAO 68 pod with 7x hydro rockets with a practice smoke warhead or a practice warhead. We'll go for the practice warhead. And on pylon 2, we can have a travel pod. So I'm up with that.
Request rearming.
In the air now, there is a target on our nose, on the ground, master arm on either of our two MFDs, stores page, air to ground. This represents our left pylon, that our right pylon, that our simulated gun position. On our right pylon we can choose bombs, obviously, which will be nothing because there are no bombs there, or rockets, and there are 7 rockets there. Quantity here currently doesn't do anything. We have two methods of aiming, manual depression and CCIP. CCIP does not work for rockets. You'll have to use manual. With manual, we get milliradians of depression here. That means how far is the reticle, the aiming reticle, which is centered here, depressed in milliradians from the bore sight of the aircraft, which is here. And we can change that in tens of milliradians here. So increase and decrease. So in this case I've decreased all the way down so there's no milliradian depression from the bore sight. So there's no lead added, if you like. Now for this method to work you have to be supplied with rocket depression charts. A rocket depression chart will tell you at a certain speed of dive, at a certain angle of dive, and at a certain altitude AGL of release you should have so many milliradians of depression to aim the weapon. Those tables have not come with the mod and we can't find them anywhere on the internet, so we're not going to be able to do this properly with milliradian depression. Instead, probably the best thing to do is set 0 milliradian depression and just add any lead yourself by eye. That's the best solution we've got at the moment until we get some tables. On the HUD it tells us we've got our rocket selected at the moment and that we are using manual aiming mode with 0 milliradians of depression. In terms of release quantity, we can fire in single, where one push of weapon release will fire a single rocket, or ripple, where one push and hold of the weapon release button will fire all 7 rockets. We're going to go single. And pause. We're going to dive from at least 6,000 feet AGL. Our angle of dive doesn't really matter. Like I said, we haven't got bomb tables, but I'd suggest about 20 to 30 degrees. Speed, generally speaking, the faster you go, the safer you will be because you will be less susceptible to ground fire. We're going to head in, we're going to try and get to about 400 knots or above. We're going to aim slightly above the target. Also, as you speed up, your trim will change. You will need constant down trim. Aim above the target and fire. These have got training warheads, so even if we hit them, as far as I'm aware, we wouldn't actually do any damage. But that's our method for rockets at the moment. Now let's go around for bombs. So, on our other pylon, we have bombs. 6 of them. We can use CCIP mode for this. We can also use manual mode, but it's not as good as CCIP, so we're going to go for CCIP. Continuously computed impact point. Also going to use ripples. We can drop them all in a line ripple. In terms of symbology, we have CCIP aiming mode. Our bombs are selected. We will have our CCIP aiming symbology here, which is a plumb line dropping down from the velocity vector, and where the computed impact point is, we will have a cross. That's currently off the bottom of the HUD at the moment because it's somewhere down here. But when we maneuver so that it comes onto the HUD, we will see the cross on the HUD. We'll put that cross on the target, push and hold weapon release, and the bombs will drop on the target, all pre-calculated by the computer. So, some pause, same drop dynamics. We're going to come from at least 6,000 feet AGL in a 20 to 30 degree dive. You can do steeper or a shallower dive, and the CCIP will adapt to that, but I always suggest 20 to 30 anyway. Okay, we're running in on the target now from 5,500 feet. The way we're going to use the CCIP is to hold our velocity vector above the targets. Again, speed, generally speaking, the faster you are, the safer you're going to be. So if I hold the velocity vector there above the targets, what will happen is we will drag our aiming cross up, and when it crosses over the target is when we'll push and hold the button. You can see the cross reticle coming up now. When it meets these guys here, we'll push and hold. Push and hold. Off they go. They come, and I don't know if you could. Oh, there they go. Smoke. Beautiful. Target hit. We then have the gun. Pause there. The gun is not mutually exclusive to the rockets and bombs, whereas the bombs and the rockets are mutually exclusive to each other. In terms of the gun, you're going to select gun here. We're going to use our manual aiming method here. We're going to press the trigger, and we get a gun simulator that goes like that. That's all we've got at the moment. Air to air, almost no functionality at the moment. Press air to air, press gun, and the gun box will come up. None of this reticle symbology is working at the moment. Press fire, and the gun fires. That's all we have for weaponry at the moment, April 2021 in the Goshawk. Hope that was useful, and see you later.